All right, let's dive right in. Have you ever thought about getting a Plan B residency somewhere else in the world? Well, today we're going to unpack one of the hottest options out there, Paraguay. We'll break down exactly why so many people are looking at it for a little more freedom and a lot more flexibility.
So let's kick things off with a question. In a world that feels, well, a little unpredictable these days, are you looking for a backup plan? Some way to lock down your personal and financial freedom just in case? It's that exact feeling that's got so many people exploring a Paraguayan residency.
And here it is, the first huge reason Paraguay is on everyone's radar. 0%. That is the tax you'll pay on any money you make outside of Paraguay. For anyone working remotely, for investors, that number is an absolute game changer.
Next up, let's talk about time. We're looking at about 90 days. That's the typical wait time from when you submit everything in person to getting your approval. So you're not left hanging for a year or more just wondering what's going on. It's fast and it's predictable.
Okay, but what about keeping your residency once you have it? This one might just be the most surprising number of all. 1. You only need to visit Paraguay for as little as one single day per year to keep your residency active. That is an insane amount of flexibility.
So those numbers are pretty incredible, right? But they're really just the headlines. Let's dig a little deeper into what this program is actually promising, how it all comes together to create a life with more freedom and, you guessed it, flexibility.
And this really lays it all out. You've got that powerhouse tax benefit we talked about, the tiny stay requirement, and that speedy process. But look closer. It's also your gateway to permanent residency later on. You get local banking and property rights. And that location, being in the Mercosur trade bloc, opens up so many doors for business and travel in South America. This isn't just a piece of paper. It's genuine peace of mind.
So who exactly is this for? Who are the people actually making this move? Let's take a look at the types of folks who find this whole package so attractive.
And wow, look at this breakdown. It's not just one type of person. You've got your digital nomads, obviously chasing that 0% tax. Then there are the entrepreneurs, who see a low-hassle entry into the South American market. You've got the pure Plan B seekers, who just want that security. And of course, retirees and families who are drawn in by the low cost of living. Do you see yourself in one of these slices? Okay, so you're probably thinking, this sounds great, but is it a huge pain to actually do? Let's walk through the whole journey, step by step, and you'll see just how clear the roadmap is.
It really boils down to 4 simple stages. First, you get your basic documents ready while you're still at home, things like your passport and a background check. Second, you take a quick trip, just a few days, to the capital, Asunción. Third, you go back home and just wait for about 90 days. And finally, you get the good news and you can collect your residency card. That's it. It's designed to be that straightforward.
And here's something that's really, really important to get. The vast majority of this timeline, you're not even in the country. You only need to be there for a few business days right at the beginning to do your appointments and get your biometrics taken. The rest of it just happens in the background while you get on with your life wherever you are.
Now let's talk about something important. If you go Googling this stuff, you're going to find a ton of old, outdated information. So consider this next part a reality check. We're going to separate what's true from what's just plain wrong, based on the rules right now, for 2025.
Let's just put the biggest myth to bed right now. You might have seen online that you need to stick $5,000 in a Paraguayan bank account. Let me be clear. That is false. It's not true anymore. That rule was thrown out back in 2022. For temporary residency, you do not need a big bank deposit, period.
So what do you actually need? Well, the real checklist is surprisingly short. A valid passport, a clean police record, and your basic documents, like a birth certificate. But honestly, it's what's not on this list that's so amazing. No bank statements, no letters from your boss, no proving how much money you have. This makes it one of the most accessible programs on the planet.
But here's the thing. This isn't just about getting a 2-year permit and calling it a day. You should think of this temporary residency as the first step on a much longer and much more interesting journey. Let's look at the path that goes all the way to a potential citizenship.
Check out this roadmap. You start with your 2-year temporary card. Once that's up, you can roll it into a 10-year permanent residency. And then, get this, after just 3 total years of having residency, you're actually eligible to apply for citizenship. Now, of course, becoming a citizen has its own requirements, like showing a real connection to the country and some basic Spanish, but this residency is what opens that door in the first place.
So when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway here?
It's that the temporary residency card, it isn't really the finish line. It's the key that unlocks the door. It's the foundation for real, long-term security, financial freedom, and a clear path to permanent status, and maybe even a second passport. It gives you a whole new set of options for your future.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. With everything going on in the world today, economic changes, political shifts, the idea of having a plan B isn't some fringe concept anymore. So I'll just leave you with this question. Is getting a second residency becoming the new, essential insurance policy for a modern global life? It's definitely something to think about.